Hi, so today we will be reading Chapter 7 of Book 7, Sunset of the Sabertooth. And remember, we just saw that Jack and Annie, they fell into the hole, and then looking above them, playing music, was the sorcerer. And right next to the sorcerer was Peanut. So Chapter 7 is called The Sorcerer's Gift. The sorcerer didn't speak. He didn't talk. He stared, though. He stared through the eye holes of the owl mask. Help us, please, said Annie. The sorcerer threw a rope into the pit. Jack grabbed it. So he threw a rope down so that way they can try to climb up. So he took a big rope and he threw it. He grabbed to pull us up. He wants to pull us up, said Annie. Jack looked up. The sorcerer was gone. Where did he go? Jack said. Tug on the rope, said Annie. Jack tugged. The rope tightened. It began rising. I'll go first, said Annie cheerfully. Annie, this isn't a game, warned Jack. Don't worry, I'll be careful. Jack gave her the rope. Okay, but hold on tight, he said. Annie held the rope with both hands. She pushed her feet against the side of the pit. She rose into the air with the rope. She kept pressing against the side of the pit until she reached the top. Jack saw the sorcerer reappear and help Annie up. Then they moved out of sight. So the sorcerer reappeared and helped Annie. Jack was puzzled. The sorcerer had used both hands to help Annie. So, who held the other end of the rope? If the sorcerer used two hands to help her get up, where was the other end of the rope? Who was holding it? Wow, came Annie's voice. What's going on? Jack wondered. The sorcerer came back and threw the rope down again. Jack grabbed it, and the rope started to rise. Jack held on tight. He started up. His hands burned. His arms felt as if they were being pulled out of their sockets. But he kept his hold on the rope and his feet against the side of the pit. At the top, the sorcerer pulled Jack onto the snowy ground. Thanks, said Jack, standing. The sorcerer was tall. He wore a long fur robe. Jack could use only his eyes through the owl mask. Hey, Annie called. Jack turned. Annie was sitting on a woolly mammoth. Annie was sitting on a woolly mammoth. How cool is that? Squeak! Peanut was sitting on the mammoth's head. The mammoth looked like a giant elephant with shaggy reddish hair and long curved tusks. The other end of the rope was around the mammoth's huge neck. Lulu, pull this up, said Annie. Lulu, said Jack. Don't you think she looks like a Lulu? Said Annie. Oh, brother, said Jack. He walked up to the mammoth. So the mammoth was the one that was pulling the rope. It was around his neck, and he was pulling back so that way he would pull them. And the sorcerer stood there to grab them with his two hands. Oh, brother, said Jack. He walked up to the mammoth. Hey, mammoth, how are you? Mammoth starts with the letter M, said Annie. Maybe Lulu's the special thing. I don't think so, said Jack. The great creature knelt down, just like a circus elephant. Whoa, said Annie. She clutched the mammoth's ears to keep from falling off. The sorcerer helped Jack climb onto the mammoth. Thanks, said Jack. Then the sorcerer reached into a pouch. He pulled out a smooth, white bone and handed it to Jack. Huh. He pulled out of a pouch a smooth white bone and gave it to Jack. The bone was hollow. It had 4 holes along one side and 2 on the other side. See, they're on the mammoth. Here is the bone right here that the sorcerer gave to Jack. See Annie and Jack? Oh, you probably can't see it. Right there is Peanut sitting on the mammoth's head too. Oh man, I think it's his flute, said Jack. The book said they make flutes from mammoth bones. Jack tried to give the flute back to the sorcerer. Nice, he said politely, but the sorcerer held up his hand. He wants you to keep the mammoth bone, said Annie. Mammoth bone, whispered Jack. Hey, maybe this is the third thing. Jack looked at the sorcerer. Do you know Morgan? He asked. The sorcerer did not answer, but his eyes sparkled with kindness. He turned away from Jack and untied the mammoth's rope. Then he whispered in the ear of the giant woolly creature. When the mammoth stood up, Jack gripped Annie's coat to keep from falling off. He felt miles above the ground. He nestled behind Annie in the dip between the mammoth's head and huge curved back. The mammoth took slow, plodding steps across the snow, then picked up the speed. Where are we going? Said Jack as they bumped up and down. To the tree house, said Annie. How does he know where it is? Said Jack. She just knows, said Annie. Jack looked back. The sorcerer was standing in the snow, watching them. But at that moment, the clouds parted and the sun came out. Jack was blinded by the sunlight on the snow. He squinted to see, but the sorcerer had vanished. What we're going to write about today is, do you think that the mammoth is going to bring Jack and Annie back to the treehouse? You are going to write your prediction. I think that the mammoth is going to bring Jack and Annie back to the treehouse. So I would say the mammoth will bring Jack and Annie to the tree house. Period. The mammoth will bring Jack and Annie to the tree house. The starts with a capital because it's the beginning of the sentence. We should know that word. T-H-E. The mammoth. M. The mammoth will. W. Bring. Bring. B. Jack. We should know Jack. J-A-C-K. Capital J because it's a name. Jack and. You should know and. A-N-D. Annie. Capital A-N-N-I-E. We should know those names by now. The mammoth will bring Jack and Annie to the tree house. To. T. The. We should know the. Tree. That's a hard one. Tree. House. H. The mammoth will bring Jack and Annie to the tree house. Period. Perfect. What do you think? Do you think the mammoth will bring Jack and Annie to the tree house? Or do you think that the mammoth will bring them somewhere else?